chair of P&Z for 5 or 6 years.
Quite some
I'd
time.
like to sit back and listen to somebody else for a change.
Ready when you are.
Okay.
It's right there in the middle, right there in the middle.
Yeah, I see that.
They're brand new.
All right, since it's 7 or a little after, we'll begin the meeting of the Board of Adjustments. This is Lyndon James. I'll be chairperson tonight, and we'll call the meeting to order. Today's date is October 7th, 2019, and it's 7:02 according to my watch. Why don't we just have everyone state their name so I won't mess that up. We do have a quorum since we have 5 members here. We'll start on the right-hand side. Everybody just announce your name, please.
Robert White.
Joe Turner.
Ken Demko.
Linda James.
Dee Blackwood.
Thank you, Dee. First discussion item is to approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was on June 3rd. Has everyone had those minutes and hopefully reviewed them? Any edits or corrections that need to be made? I did not notice any.
I did not.
I wasn't here, so I couldn't tell you.
All right.
I've looked at them, they look accurate.
Maybe you've...
However, note that I arrived at 7:05, so I cannot comment on what happened before that.
Okay.
Nothing happened before that. You're good to go. We just started.
Yeah, I can't recall if anything happened at 7.
That I showed up 5 minutes later.
Could we get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you very much. Could we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Raise your hand. The minutes are therefore approved. The next phase of the agenda is a public hearing to hear some testimony and some information passed on for this adjustment that's been proposed. Rashad, did you do some introduction of this?
Yeah, I'll do a brief presentation and then the applicant can speak during the public hearing portion.
Great. Would you go ahead and do that
Yes,
for us?
sir. This project was originally designed and received a site plan approval in 2006 as a retail center on one lot. It's kind of a shopping center with several different pad sites on one lot. The applicant would like to, at one point in 2016, the property in the rear was replatted and received a variance for that replatting as well, so that an individual lot could be sold off. This is somewhat the same situation, except these are the two pads in the front. The original replat that happened in 2016 adjusted 2 pads in the back, which you can see on this aerial here. Now they're wanting to subdivide this area. The current applicant is requesting a number of variances that are needed in order to subdivide this lot, which is called Lot 3R, into 2 lots. Once the lot is created for the vacant building foundation, it will then be sold to a separate owner for future development. There is a reciprocal egress easement already in place due to the previous replat. That'll just be carried over whenever they plat, if they do get this variance. A future building will be constructed on the existing pad, and it will be similar to the existing building. It'll be somewhat a little bit different, but of course the foundation's there, and they're not going to necessarily differ from the foundation. The variances, Town Planner Eric Del Angel noted, would be a variance of 49 feet and 3 feet to the required required minimum lot width of 250 feet, variance of 62 feet for each lot to the required minimum lot width of 250 feet, a variance of 49,355 square feet and 40,705 square feet to the required minimum lot size. Each lot, based on our current ordinance, it is required to be 2 acres. Of course, subdividing this, it will not meet that. And a variance of approximately 16 feet for each lot's interior side yard. Once you subdivide this property, of course, they're treated as 2 separate buildings, 2 separate properties, so they would not be able to meet the minimum 25-foot yard side setback. Staff recommends approval, noting even though this is somewhat of a self-imposed hardship, the benefit, and also noting that there's not going to be necessarily a detrimental effect with regards to this. It's actually just allowing them to move forward with development of the property. The same can be said for the variance that was received back in 2016 for the same property in the rear. But of course, it is left up to the board in regards to this specific decision because it is separate from the previous variance. The staff memo notes things with regard to a review, conditions for a variance, but as noted, staff has reviewed and recommends approval.
Okay. Okay. Is the party here that we can get some comments?
Yes, sir. Just open up the.
We'll open up the public hearing. If you would just give us your name and your address.
Good evening, Board. My name is Arlen Samuelson. I'm with Westwood. We're located at 2740 Dallas Parkway in Plano, Texas. We are the civil engineers working for the potential buyer on this property. So we would be the ones to carry out the site planning and platting should y'all grant this variance. So basically, as Rashad stated, the current owner of Lot 3R has the existing building that's been in place, I guess, since it was developed in '06. At that time, they kind of prepared for future development, built the pads, built the parking, everything's there for a building to be there. It just never has happened, so they've not really found the wherewithal to move forward with constructing that building. So my client is just looking to purchase that from them and go ahead and get that property developed. So that's where we're looking at you guys. When the thing was laid out, I'm assuming they kind of anticipated maybe splitting it up in the future, but if I understand the platting requirements didn't require the 2 acre minimum back then, if I understand correctly. But yeah, so that's what we're just looking for, is a little help on trying to sell that off to a potential developer that's ready to move forward with it and get something in there. You have to answer your questions.
What may end up there?
I'll defer. If you have any idea yet.
I'm Chris Lovell with Legacy Alliance. We're at 4125 Centurion Way in Addison, and we are the potential buyer and developer. We develop retail strip centers that vary from 6,000 to 13,000 square foot, very similar to this building foundation, and our tenants are very similar in all of our centers. You're going to have a sandwich shop, sometimes a sit-down counter pizza place, a nail spa, an orthodontist, or a dentist, and those are the type of tenants that will be
All very
running.
similar to the building next door.
Yeah, everything that we develop will be things that you can't buy on Amazon. It's all very service oriented.
But where you're at in the sale process, is this like you guys make a signed purchase agreement? This is like a
We
closing
do.
condition?
It is.
Or they would have to get this variance changed for the sale to go through,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise, you guys have a signed purchase agreement ready to buy?
That's a true statement. We have a contract in escrow at the title company.
Okay.
Anyone else have any comments or questions for the petitioner here before we close the public hearing? Anybody?
I do not. Not for them.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll close the public hearing and let's talk about this a little bit. This seems to me that maybe, the staff's got it right here. We got something we need to amend here or change to make this palatable?
Yes. I mean, this is a unique situation. It was designed to be one lot, of course. That's the reason why it's just kind of like a shopping center type setup. But noting this unique situation where the pad has been sitting for so long, anything that could help assist with that development, of course, I think the community would be open to that happening. We are, as a staff, looking at revising our minimum lot sizes and trying to allow for developers to come in, not necessarily held to that max 2 acre, because they're going to develop according to the life safety requirements, the fire lanes, the setbacks, etc. But the 2 acre, we found that it's been a kind of an issue because they have all this remaining property that they don't necessarily need. So,
I think we had that issue in a lot of places, don't we?
yeah.
The depth of the.
Yeah, I mean, we have quite a few awkward tracks where we're going to continue to have this throughout town, but this one is just a unique situation.
No. I agree. I think that we should move forward with this. We've got the existing fire lanes. They're not going to change. All the amenities are there. The parking is already there. Everything's set up. I see no reason why it couldn't be divided. I do have one quick question though, is the access point going to the new development just north of this property. I noticed that they've closed it off, and I'm wondering if that's going to be reopened at some point in time. You can see it on the overhead. You can see just north, on the north west corner, the cross-access area.
You're talking on the back road there?
If you're looking at your picture right above where it says variance 3, you can see where the new concrete's been poured there. And it's been poured with a curb so that it's no longer going to have cross-access. That's been done during the development of the lot just north of this. And I'm curious as to know who and why that's been closed off.
But right now, that next lot would be is the lot that Chick-fil-A closed on.
Right.
So they would be responsible for constructing that drive. What the developer's responsibility, they have constructed as far as public access, and that's the rear drive on the back side.
Right.
And that will provide access throughout the entire property. If you go through there, you'll see a couple of bypass lanes to get back to Collins and to get to Highway 80.
Well, this particular property has 3 points of access right now, so I'm not too concerned about it, but I was curious to know why it had been closed off, and if there was any plans to reopen it.
Well,
We'll have to look at the Chick-fil-A site plan when it comes through, I guess.
it will be required when they come in. Yeah, it's just a
I
step.
thought maybe they might have just done it just to keep people from driving through there and onto the property for now.
Yeah.
But they had barricades there for a while, and then they poured the concrete.
Yeah. It's just to prevent people from doing that. I think the contractor was the one cut through there quite a bit.
I couldn't get the contractor. Okay, any other questions or
I don't
comments?
see
or-
any adversity in doing it so fast. one.
Well, I will entertain a motion to approve this variance if somebody wants to make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, or co-chair, I will make a motion to approve this item agenda for to reduce the required lot size, width, depth, and side setback for the general business area, and as proposed by and approved by the town staff.
Excellent. Do I have a second?
Mr. Chairman, I second.
All right, all in favor, raise your hand. Looks like it's unanimous. 5-0. Vote. Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Looks like that's the extent of our agenda for this evening, so unless there's some further discussion, we'll adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Co-chair.
Thank you, sir.
Sean, are we good to then submit the site plan plat on the very?
Nice to meet you, too.
Dates or?
Yes, if you look at our schedule, you're good to go?
Thank you very much.
All right.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any gentlemen, somebody?